I interviewed my friend Tina today for the Love Fruit podcast, and I was talking to her about the importance of people gathering, people coming together, and she said you should make a video about that. So, so I'm making a video about that, inspired by Tina. And what I was talking about was that people forget, because we've been in lockdown so long, people forget what it's like when people get together. And yes, you've maybe been out to the market and the supermarket and you've walked around your town and there's a lot of people around, but gatherings of people with specific intention and purpose behind them are very special and important. And it's something that I felt very clearly when I was in Thailand and in Koh Phangan, and it was locked down, so we're all locked down and we're not really gathering that much. There's a few small gatherings going on, I guess, but there's not really that many gatherings. And then towards the end of the, when the lockdown kind of ended and things were opening up there, I just remember this one night we went to this place and there was a musician, there was like a kind of fire, there was people around the fire, there were people singing together, talking together, there was just the feel of people together and community, and it's kind of a common purpose, I suppose, and a good tribe of people that had come together that night. And it was just so special, I suppose. Just that feeling of being in that environment for the first time in a long, long time, and thinking this is what life is meant to be like. Like, this is what people do, this is what people need. And it's very important for people's health, and probably particularly mental health, for people to be able to come together and gather. And that's one of the strange things that just gets completely kind of forgotten about when this little virus comes along, and we think that things like that aren't important and we can just give up all that, and there's no issue. And this is the thing when we talk about health, is that we can think very clearly about these things that seem to be very scary, a virus, a killer virus, and all these things. But other things that we don't quite put the same value on, we don't maybe think about so much, like being around other people, and that might sound like something that's not that important, but people go mad without other people around. Like, that's why you get prisoners and they put them in solitary confinement, and it makes people go mad. It is, they want to avoid it so much that is something that'll make them behave probably more than, like, if they get beaten up by the guards or they get or whatever, because solitary confinement is such a punishment for a human being. And I don't believe there's any conspiracy in, like, oh, they've intentionally made us all stay away from each other for blah blah. Like, I don't really believe in that, but I just think it's something that when we come to make the decision of, do we lock down or not, do we stop people from circulating and being around each other, we don't really put much importance on that. And it's one of the most important things in our lives. Everything in life is really about other people. And I know that a lot of people like this stuff about they're an independent person. I'm an independent person. I do what I like. I do it my way. The song, like, everyone plays that at their funeral. I did it my way. It's like, and I don't care what other people think, and I do what I like, and it's all nonsense. We're a very social species. We want to be around other people. Even if you're not a very social person, you like being around other people. even if you don't contribute to the conversation, you like just being there. You know, we're interested in other people. We want to learn from other people. Other people introduce us to other people and other things and ideas and concepts and experiences and books and films and knowledge, and a person can be a catalyst to change in your life, you know, people. And that's what I kind of started to feel a little bit in Copenhagen, being in a space all of a sudden with a lot of other people and just looking around and seeing other people looking around and thinking, wow, people, other people, and just the, you know, the whole game of life playing out, and the whole game of social life and socializing, and, you know, and kind of looking at people and seeing who are they and what are they, how did they get here, and why are they here, and what are they doing, and are those two people together, and do those people not like each other, and are they brothers or sisters, or, you know, and just all these things that go on in your mind when you're kind of looking around and people watching, and it's a big part of life, a big part of life. And so it's very important that you develop, if you are a very a loner kind of a person, it is important that you develop a bit more of a gregarious side. And it doesn't mean you have to be the loudest person in the room, but you really should learn how to be comfortable in social situations, and how to be happy around other people, and how to, you know, learn to talk to other people. And that's something that I still am learning about. You know, I'm not the greatest conversationalist. Sometimes I actually have to think about, you know, I have to work at conversations. So I'm more of an introvert, but I've developed a little bit. And even when I was an introvert, I still wanted to be around people. I still wanted to meet people. I wanted conversations with people, but I just didn't like small talk, and I didn't understand small talk. And now I kind of appreciate small talk. I learned to appreciate it. I understand for a lot of people, they're very nervous about new people, no matter how confident they seem, and they're not ready to open up about themselves at first. So small talk happens, and you learn how to do that a little bit. And I learned when I was working at a supermarket years ago, and there was people that were very, very talkative, and I would just kind of watch them and listen to them, and they would, on a Monday they would say, did you have a good weekend? And on a Friday they would say, have you got anything planned for the weekend? You know, and it was just the same things they would say every week, you know, and the same little phrases, and the same conversation starters, and the same, you know, how's your family, how's this, what's, you know, whatever. So gregariousness, being with people, being around people, it's the fuel, it's a really big fuel of your life. And I think people undervalue it. They undervalue the power of connecting with people and meeting new people. And Tina was kind of talking about, in the podcast we were doing, she was saying that she was a lone wolf. Like, she was doing the raw vegan diet on her own. But she got tired of being a lone wolf, and she felt like she had to go and meet her tribe, and she ended up coming to the Woodstock Fruit Festival, you know. So, and that's where I met her, and she's been at the UK Fruit Fest as well. And you know, and we've both met amazing friends through that, and had great experiences, and it comes from investing, like, in the quality of people that are in your life, you know. I've tried a lot in Glasgow to try and bring people together with raw food stuff, and it's just like, it's kind of hard. I don't know exactly what people want. You know, I put on free stuff, and people don't come. I've tried to have speakers and different things, and it's not been that easy to do that either. So eventually you just realise, right, I guess I need to turn it into a business. if I actually want to make it into something. You know, you start off a lot of these things, you don't want to have to charge for things, and you just realise it's kind of impossible, and it's kind of weird. But yeah, people gathering together, really special thing, important thing, very important. And this sets back the economy and everything else just as much as anything else. It's like people not circulating, networking, sharing ideas, becoming inspired. Just makes everything very sluggish and fall back and fall behind. And that's not a good thing for anyone. It's not a good thing for anyone. So for a lot of people coming to the UK Fruit Fest on Sunday, it's going to be the first little gathering they've been at in a long, long time, and they're going to be blown away, because the nervous system of your body is going to go, wow, other people, smiles, hugs, conversation, meeting a new person. Wow, that's an experience, you know. So we're going to have a special time, and but yeah, I think I'm not saying that you should all go and break whatever rules are in your country, but this whole thing has been a disaster for the health of people, for the mental health of many people, for jobs and stuff in the economy. And there's a lot of people that they've not lost their job yet, but it might be coming, you know. And a lot of things turning upside down, and it's a tough time. And still, it's dragging on. It's like, come on, can you just admit? Can you just admit that this is over? You know, it's bizarre, truly bizarre, but that's humanity, so go along with it. Anyway, I mean, I'm seeing, if I go out into Glasgow now, I see lots of people around, lots of people in restaurants, lots of people together, people in pubs and beer gardens, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know, maybe this will last until next year. Maybe there'll be people that never stop locking down. You know, it's pretty mad, pretty crazy. So eventually people are going to have to start. It's kind of like those riots that happened and the big, like 500,000 people went to the beach. It didn't have any effect on cases rising or deaths. Zero effect, because it's over. Like it's been over for like 2 or 3 months. And it had a little moment, and you know, but it's gone. Surprisingly, the interesting thing is last year there was 15,000 less deaths in the flu season than usual. So those people were due to pass away this year, and just an interesting little extra piece of information there. But yeah, people gathering is important for many reasons. And you should get out there in life. It's part of life, it's part of health, it's part of your own personal success, it's part of your ability to meet people. You know, how are you going to meet friends? How are you going to find a new opportunity or a new job, you know, if you're not out there meeting people? Just remember that every person you meet is potentially a link to thousands of other people. Because every person you know maybe knows, like, vaguely like at least 100 to 1,000 people, depending on how well connected they are. And then there's some people that have networks of tens of thousands of people. And then there's people that are in business that have networks of like, can have huge networks. One person can make a huge impact in your life, and you might not find them on Tinder, you know. You might not find them on some online Facebook group. I see people in online Facebook groups and stuff, and I've never met them in real life, and I've never, you know, people that are dishing out advice on a lot of forums, raw vegan forums, and I'm like, I've never seen these people at any of the events, festivals, or anything. Like, who are these people, you know? Why aren't they why don't they come and be part of these events, you know? But anyway, thank you for watching. That's my opinion for today, and I'll see you in the next video.